I am Pritesh Srivastav, and I have in total 18 years of experience in SAP domain. I have worked with multiple companies in my career and started with Sopra Group, SAP Labs, and multiple domains like airlines, retail, sales, okay, and across various technologies on starting from ABAP for HANA and SAP BTP and CDS, Views, RAP, OData. So I have worked all these technologies. Okay. And when I was part of the product development team in SAP Labs when SAP HANA, so when HANA was getting developed, I was part of the development team and product development team, and we went to World of, wherein we presented some of the use cases on built on top of HANA. So and since then I'm working on HANA and S4 HANA. It was around early 2011 actually. So yeah, it's around more than 14 years. Okay. So today's topic is SAP ABAP RAP. This is quite new in this market. Okay. This is a demo session. So let's start with this. Okay. So what will be the today's agenda? So we'll discuss about ABAP, what is history and some of the basics, environment and the cloud, ABAP on SAP BTP, how it is handled, and finally ABAP RAP, the RESTful application programming model. We will talk about some of the key components, why we use it RAP, why not we stick to the common classical ABAP, why we got this new stuff. Okay. And finally, we'll talk about some of the architecture examples and we'll talk about some of the challenges as well. Okay. So let's begin with this. So ABAP is Advanced Business Application Programming. I assume that most of the audience in this demo is know about ABAP. That is the prerequisite, okay, for this course. So it's a primary language for this course as well and for SAP as well. What I say is ABAP is the blood of SAP. Okay, I have worked around 17, 18 years. I know whether wherever you go in SAP, whatever technology SAP comes up with, whatever module SAP comes up with, ABAP will always be there. Okay. So, and it has been used from last almost 1983, not 55, it's 40 years. Yes. So initially it was a procedural language influenced by COBOL and Pascal. I hope if you have worked on ABAP, then probably you might be knowing what is the background behind it. Okay. And over time, it evolved to support object-oriented programming and integrating with Java and C++. When I was with SAP Labs, I met with the person who actually designed SE24, who has worked on object-oriented part. He was another level of genius, which actually gave us SE24 transaction. Then modern ABAP includes expression-based syntax. So if you see in the figure, it got introduced in 1954 by Fortran and COBOL. The five people came out from IBM and they created one new company, SAP. And since then, it actually moved on. I have also worked on 4.6C, which was created in year 2000. Okay, very less exposure I have in 4.6, but yes, I have worked in 4.6C as well, around 1 year. You can see that 1 year only, because in 2007 or 8, Adobe ABAP 6.0 actually came into existence. Okay, then in 2012, 7.4, 2015, 7.5, and the latest version 2019, 7.54. So yes, ABAP is there. If you know basics of ABAP, it will be very easy for you because the concepts are same, the logic is same. I will say not replaced, I will say optimized. Okay, you will, when we will be talking about more into ABAP code, then you will see that okay, it is very similar and it is very easy to use. Some it includes expression based syntax. Okay, we will be seeing what is this expression based. Okay, we'll be looking into it. Traditional statement based code with expressions. Okay. Then ABAP language versions. So there are three ABAP language versions. Standard ABAP, which is unrestricted universal version. Okay. And it covers entire language scope. Then comes ABAP for cloud development. It is optimized only for cloud, more restrictive because Cloud is more like open source kind of open place. Okay. It is not easy for each and every language to be available on cloud. So when ABAP was created for a cloud environment, it was very tough task. Okay. And it was restricted. So many functionalities were restricted in cloud version. But now if you see in RAP, it is quite easy to use it. Okay, the ABAP for key users, it was actually the enhancement by key users that you cannot do any custom development. But SAP and ABAP is actually famous for doing custom developments. And I have done so many custom developments, so I know better than that actually. So ABAP is famous for custom development, but in cloud, this facility was not available. Okay, in cloud, the the extensions were not available, the custom development were not possible. So that's why in cloud you will find that okay, in cloud ABAP was not good. So that's why SAP came up with SAP BTP, where SAP used this ABAP inside BTP using Eclipse. Okay, we'll be looking into it. That okay, how to handle Eclipse as well. Okay, and the ABAP for key users is only for enhancements only. Okay, and key users can do some enhancement, do some custom development, and everything you can do it. Okay, and it also includes the classical ABAP. There are two environments, on-premise and cloud. So ABAP Cloud is actually development model for building cloud-ready SAP business apps, and it works across SAP BTP. So we'll be starting with the BTP, and we'll be knowing okay how to log in BTP, how to create users, how to use ABAP environment, and how to connect S/4HANA with that. And in case you have um, any on-prem, then probably you need a separate discussion on that. But in this course, we'll be focusing more on SAP BTP, RAP, and ABAP environments. Okay. So why this matters? By developing ABAP cloud principles, you are more aligned with SAP clean core strategy. Okay. So which actually minimal disruption to core system. In this figure, you see that there are four pillars. So first is S/4HANA Cloud, any premise, private edition, okay, S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition, then SAP BTP ABAP environment. So this is the phases of ABAP Cloud version. You can see that. Okay. Now, if you have BTP system, you don't need to worry on how to handle ABAP, how to get install an ABAP, how to, because I have seen there are so many problems we face when how to install an ABAP, how to install the IDS version. This is a very big challenge we faced it. But in BTP with the cloud version, you don't need to worry on that. You just need to enable it and it is available for you. You can directly use it anywhere. Okay. So in the cloud development model, you can directly build your apps, your services, your extensions. Okay. But whereas in the classical ABAP, you can do that. It is not available in BTP system. It is available only in the S/4HANA cloud version. Okay. So now ABAP on BTP system. Okay. How it is done at BTP, you go and create a global account, then you go ahead inside sub account, then you inside this you will see Cloud Foundry environment. Okay, so inside this you will see ABAP instance. So first thing is what is this Cloud Foundry environment? Okay, what is this? So what happens is when SAP designed or created SAP BTP system, they use this Cloud Foundry environment. This environment is majorly used for developing web applications. Okay. And when you log into BTP, you will find some more environment like ABAP environment is also available and Kaima environment is available. So BTP was built. So first focus area was to market this product, SAP BTP. Okay. There are some users available on ABAP. Okay, that is fine. My so many customers are available on ABAP system. But what about if my customer wants a web-based application? So for those customers, SAP came up with the Cloud Foundry environment. Okay, because web not very good, very poor, I will say. Yes, because I have worked on WebDyn Pro and CRM web services also. So I can understand the blue screen. So it was not good. Okay. So with BTP, SAP came up with a web development environment on cloud. Okay. And we will see that okay, how ABAP environment is required. But later on, ABAP environment was also introduced to integrate all the ABAP needs okay, all the ABAP requirements. So you can see ABAP instance is also available in Cloud Foundry, and there is a separate ABAP environment is also available. Okay, I have not mentioned the Kaima environment here because Kaima environment is majorly used for microservices, creating apps, small apps. Okay, so we'll not talk about that. Okay, so how to connect this? So in ABAP instance, you need to develop all your ABAP development. You need to perform your development in Eclipse. If you have worked on HANA, or if you know Eclipse, that is very good. If you have worked on HANA Studio, then it will be very easy for you, okay, to understand and to work on ABAP instance. Okay, so how to connect? So we need to connect through service key. I'll be telling you how to connect BTP system. How I'll be telling you how to connect your SAP ABAP system. Okay, and how to configure ABAP cloud project in Eclipse. That all we will be covering. Okay, in this course. And this setup supports building modern cloud native applications. It's not just SAP classical GUI framework. No, it's no more. You will find a cloud native ABAP application directly. Okay. So you see, this is the slide I've kept it for, if you have not worked on Eclipse, you can just see this is the look and feel. If you see, you just need to directly download in Eclipse from tools.hana.ondemand.com. Go there and just download Eclipse. Directly you can import SAP there, okay? And you can directly start using it functionality. This is the settings that in Eclipse preference, you just go to Windows. If you know about Eclipse, then you just need to go to Windows and ABAP development. And inside that, you will find some editors. Inside this editors, you will find all these available editors here. So there is one more big word you will be seeing here, CDS. Okay. So we'll be covering the CDS as well, because CDS is very, very crucial for ABAP RAP. Okay. This is the example you can see, like properties you want to set in the editor. You can just do some settings and you can write a code and you will find a preview that, okay, this is how your code will look like. If you know ABAP, then you might see that, okay, there are some things which is not same as the classical ABAP. Okay, this is good actually because it saves a lot of time and it is very efficient. Okay, and I hope you might remember a pretty printer in ABAP, classical ABAP. So this is actually ABAP formatter. You can do pretty printing stuff here. Okay, and it will actually show. You can also see that, okay, how to do that, uppercase, lowercase, custom and indentation, everything it is done here. Okay, this is also available in Eclipse version in ABAP development. And this is a BTP cockpit. This is how you will see in BTP, and you will at the left hand side, you will find all the services here, Cloud Foundry, HTML5 applications, all applications here. Then you will, in the middle, in the sub account section, you will see the ABAP cloud destination, and you will find the service key here and how to connect service key. We'll be looking into it. Okay. Now let's talk about the ABAP RAP, RESTful Application Programming Model. So first thing is, what is RESTful? Okay. The first question is, well, what is this RESTful? So if you remember that ABAP is actually an on-premise. SAP was previously on-premise, okay, and ABAP was available, and it is kind of a classical programming model, some freestyle ABAP programming, okay, it was there before 7.5. Okay, now with introduction of OData services, I'm sure you might be knowing OData services, but if you don't know, then no problem. I'll be telling you. There will be one session on OData service, how to create, how to call, all these things. Okay, I will take that. How to use that OData services. So with this OData services, all the REST-based APIs you can create, and you can expose those your applications to outer world. Okay, and you can create your application in Java, and you can call directly OData services from ABAP. That is possible. So suppose you have a program in ABAP and you want it to use on your website. Okay, so what happens? You create an OData service and you expose that OData service to outer world. Okay, so and you give it to some other person or app development person. He or she will actually try to call that OData service, and your ABAP project will be available on the web. So this is how actually it started with the REST-based API. So in this, we use some common method like get, put, post. All these methods are used in OData services. Okay, and it is very efficient and end-to-end application. Okay, and so that's how it actually moved on to new model or new architecture, which is called as full programming model, wherein you create or write code CDS views. If you know about the HANA, then probably you might be knowing about the views that previously there was some calculation view, analytic view, attribute views, and all those views were available. But right now, calculation views there, yes, but I think soon it will also go off. CDS view will be there in S4HANA system. You can directly create your OData service. You can call your OData services in your CDS views, and you can expose your CDS views in the business environment. Okay, that's how the SAP ABAP RAP works. Okay. And it is also designed for SAP
Pritish,
HANA.
hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Pritish Pyle here. Just one
Yeah.
question here. We also have SOAP-based APIs, right? So, wondering why we wanted to go for REST and how it is beneficial over SOAP.
So in REST-based, actually, it was a HTTP call, okay, and it was very efficient, okay. Whereas on SOAP, actually, it was very slow, okay, compared to SOAP, right? If you have worked on S proxy, okay, and that was very, if you might remember, but OData services were very fast because of tokenization system and due to OAuth authority, it was secure enough. Okay, so these two features make the REST-based APIs more efficient. Okay, so inside this wrap, we'll be working on building CDS views and data modeling part. And we'll also look into the behavior definition, how the business logic is developed, and also the service provisioning. So we'll be creating some of the OData services. We'll be seeing that how bindings happen in OData service, how to expose that OData service to CDS views, how to use that OData service in CDS, and how to finally use the CDS views in the business services. Okay, we'll be seeing all through in this course. Okay, this is the architecture. If you see ABAP RAP, so at the bottom, if you see the database is SAP HANA. Yes, we all know that, and it actually works on SQL and SQL script. On top of that, we have a domain specific implementation. So domain specific means you write some ABAP code, okay? You write some CDS views, okay? So you did do some data modeling, okay? All these things are done in a domain specific implementation. Then on top of that, you do some business service exposure, okay? So what you do, so on top of that, you do some business object projection and interface, okay? Just remember here also you use the same CDS views and ABAP views, okay? In posing the business, your views, your development to business service layer, okay? Then you do some service definition, okay? Then you do some service binding. These are all part of RESTful programming architecture. Service definition, service binding, event binding, wherein you map all the events, okay, to event infrastructure, okay. On top of that, you find that UI services are available in OData based, web APIs available OData based. So just you might be noticing that, okay, OData is also available in my domain specific, and OData is also available in my business service. So what is the difference? So the difference is why OData is created, because OData will give you secure URL. Okay, the result of an OData service is a secured and performance specific URL, which you can use it in your app. So at the bottom level, you create your OData service on top of an ABAP environment, on top of your ABAP project, ABAP report. Okay. And now that OData service, you can use it in CDS view, you can use, and you can also, then at the end of CDS views, you will get one more URL, okay, which is more secure, which is more efficient and fast, because CDS is actually work on code push down technique. This is actually a technique which is used, which is kind of a architecture, you can say that, wherein you write the code directly in the DB layer. Okay, that is the concept. That if you might be knowing SAP architecture, so there are three architecture. Below is the database, then application, then presentation. All three architecture was there, right? But here, there is no application layer. You think there is only two layers, database and presentation. You are writing the code directly in the database layer. So that's why CDS view is fast. Okay. That's why it is more optimized. So if you know about the architecture behind ABAP, you will find that, okay, first, if I hit a query on presentation layer, then it gets converted to application, then it finally gets converted to native to SQL, Open SQL to native. Everything gets conversion in between. But here, you don't need to do any conversions. You are directly hitting the database and you are directly fetching the results. Okay. So that's how you get at the end an OData based UI services, OData based web APIs, and the business events. And on top of that, you can create your Fiori apps. Okay. We will be having one basic session on Fiori apps, that how to create Fiori apps. Okay. More detail level Fiori, it's not part of this course, but yes, I'll be telling you how to create some basic level apps. Okay. Using drag and drops, you can do it. Okay. There are some configurations which are needed to enable the existing Fiori apps. Okay. So this is the architecture. So model layer is there. It defines the data model. You can define your model data model there. You can create your CDS views. Okay, some action validation in the CDS views. Then on top of that, there is an implementation layer. So business logic is implemented in ABAP classes. Okay. Then projection layer is there. So you use the projection views to expose all the needed parts of the business object. And then service layer is there, that it defines the service definition. It binds a protocol. Service definition means you have written a code. You wanted to create a customer. Okay. So you have written a code which creates my customer is also there, vendor is there, marketer is there. Okay. Build each and every partner you are going ahead and creating it. But service definition tells you that, okay, you wanted to create only this OData is only for creation of customers. It cannot be used for creation of a vendor. It cannot be used for a creation of a third party user. No, you can't do that. So that's how it make more efficient. Okay. So you need to define the service that, okay, what is the purpose of it? And you do the binding as well. Okay. At the end, the consumption part. So consumers, you can use Fiori UI app or web API clients, okay, and call those data services, right? So why use RAP? Some of the benefits. So efficiency, that is the first thing. So RAP provides a standardized way to build business logic, services, and minimizing the boilerplate. Okay, so you don't need to worry on that. Okay, what all things I need to manage to make more efficient. Okay, you just need to write the code. You need to optimize your ABAP programming, and you need to just know that, okay, what is the flow from the database to the Fiori app. Okay, performance wise, yes, if it is more efficient, then performance is good because it is optimized on SAP HANA. I hope you know how SAP HANA works. It is a columnar based database. Okay, and it works on such technology. Okay, the RAP application is built on top of SAP HANA. Okay, and RAP push down logic to database where possible. So I just discussed about the push down technique where you directly write your code in database layer and you are directly reading or fetching data from the SAP HANA database itself. Okay, so you don't need to worry about any middle layer or any application layer. That's it. Okay. So that's how the performance is optimized. Scalability and cloud readiness. So built inherently for the cloud BTP and stateless service architecture. You don't need to worry about whether I'll get the system, how to install, how to update my existing IDIS or SAP installation I need. So you don't need to worry on that. You just need to log in SAP BTP and everything is solved. Everything is available in your platter. Okay. Then extensibility is using CDS and behavior definition. Yes, it actually give you upgrade stable extensions. It expose data via API and app to different customers. So suppose you build something and tomorrow you get a different requirement. Your client says, okay, no, I want this one as well. So it is easy to extend. You can directly go ahead and update some of the features, some of the parameters, and you can just go ahead and enable extended version or the new features and it is easy to use it. Okay. Modern UI compatibility. So it easily integrates with SAP Fiori and Web UI via OData services. We have seen this thing. Okay. Some of the examples. So in there is one example in SAP Learning Journey. After learning the basics, learners build a sustainable grocery app. It was actually a simple ABAP RESTful application to track groceries and their expiry date. So which groceries is expired or not, it is just identifying that. So, and they use the repository object generator. So this we will be seeing it when we will be working on the wrap. So this is the repository object generator, which actually generates the random objects. Okay, whenever it is used, we will be seeing, looking into it. When we're using the CDS views, we will be seeing this repository object generator. Okay. And the app has a business logic. It has CDS modeling as well, and it uses the OData services. It is actually an end-to-end wrap. So you see now, wrap, what is inside wrap? Inside wrap, there are a couple of things like ABAP business logic is there, CDS is there, OData is there, and finally the Fury app or the web app is there. So this complete end-to-end workflow or solution is called RESTful application program. Okay, wrap. Some of the challenges. So you are from a basic classical ABAPer, okay? You don't want to learn new things. So that is the big challenge. If you are keen to learn new things, then it is very, very niche and very, very good. Okay. You need Eclipse based. If you have not worked on Eclipse, then you need to learn how to write code in Eclipse. If you know how to, if you have worked on HANA Studio, then it will be easy for you. If you have been working on ABAP GUI, then it will take some time to understand, okay, that okay, how to open a class, how to debug, all these things you need to understand. So that we will be doing it. So that is part of the course. Commitment for cloud native ABAP, you must adapt ABAP cloud language version, which fixes some old ABAP features. So you need to upgrade yourself and learning new syntax, new commands in cloud version ABAP, because the old version of ABAP, I mean, some of the syntax will not work. Okay. And in designing services, projections binding requires good architecture to prevent overexposure of data. So governance means you need some good infrastructure. You can see that some good architecture you need to build so that you cannot expose the data to the outer world. Okay. Some of the key takeaways. So we have seen that ABAP has evolved significantly, and it has now moved from the procedural based to significantly to cloud-based advanced level language. Okay. And as ABAP on SAP BTP, it allows building cloud native ABAP apps via ABAP Cloud. We'll be also looking into it. The RAP is a modern programming model optimized for SAP HANA. It enables efficient development of OData services, Fury apps, and web app APIs. And using the RAP support clean code development, minimal invasive changes, extensibility, and cloud readiness. Okay. It is ideal for new custom development on BTP on or S4HANA. So you see that for any type of custom development you want to do, it is only way you can do it on cloud based when you want service oriented, scalable, and maintainable applications. Okay. So thank you. You can see some of the images has been used from these two places, SAP Learning Hub and ABAP RESTful application, which is SAP Help Portal. Okay. So course content here will be covering ABAP RESTful application. First module, the BTP overview, we'll be doing it. Okay, how to configure and all these things. Sometime we will be seeing CDS views, how to create some of the syntaxes we will be also seeing. Okay. Then we will be looking into the development setup, some of the prerequisite like NetWeaver, S4HANA, okay, and setting up the Eclipse part, how to handle, how to work in Eclipse. I'll be telling you, okay. Then setting up the RAP development environment, building the first application. We'll be looking into how to build application, and also the behavior implementation of RAP. We'll be seeing all the CRUD operations. We'll be doing it, and uh, finally, the UI integration and Fury elements. Uh, the existing Fury elements will be looking into it, that how to integrate the existing one, which has been provided by SAP itself. Okay. And how we create a custom UI with SAP UI5 and RAP. Okay. We'll be looking at very high level. Okay. We'll not go into deep down that, okay, how to create a UI5 application and all that. We'll not looking into it. Okay. Then some of the RAP concepts like unmanaged scenarios, and event-based communication, all these things will be looking into it. And some of the topics like performance optimization, these are actually very, very commonly used, because why this is required? If I say that, okay, it is optimized, then why I need performance optimization? So where it is required is, suppose you have an old classical ABAP and system and you have migrated from that to RAP. Okay. Now in that case, you cannot directly copy paste all the code. You need to understand. Suppose you copy pasted everything, but at the end you see that, okay, the architecture was not correct, because in RAM the architecture is different. You are writing the code directly in the database layer, but in classical ABAP you are writing at the presentation layer and you are executing it there. Okay, so some of the optimizations you need to do it. So I remember when I was working in I seen there are so many objects. We need to migrate the ABAP objects programs to HANA system, HANA development environment. So it was I remember those kind of days. Okay, so we need to just look into that, okay, how it is performance optimized, how the deployment happens, how the integration is done. So these all things we'll be looking into it. Okay, so that's all from my side.